Hi students, welcome to the third part of haloalkanes and haloarenes. In this third part, I am going to discuss 8 questions from previous year NEET papers. Let me take the first question. In a SN2 substitution reaction of the type RBr plus Cl minus in the presence of DMF gives RCl plus Br minus. Which one of the following has the highest relative rate? Okay, so we got 4 options there as different alkyl halides given, and we need to identify which alkyl halide will undergo this reaction at the highest rate or relative rate. Okay, it's already mentioned this reaction undergoes SN2 substitution or SN2 mechanism, and we already know in SN2 mechanism the order of reactivity of different alkyl halides can be taken as primary is more reactive compared to secondary, secondary is more reactive compared to tertiary alkyl halides, because in SN2 mechanism we take the steric hindrance into account, because nucleophile should attack on the carbon which is attached to the halogen. So in which of these molecules less steric hindrance will be there? That should be having highest relative rate. And you can see here we can't just find by taking primary more than secondary more than tertiary alkyl halide, okay, the reactivity order, because all compounds given here are primary alkyl halides only. So we need to count number of carbon atoms also. The number of, okay, if we take number of carbon atoms here, the one, okay, the alkyl halide having less number of carbon atoms, so should be like having less steric hindrance and should be more reactive, or can take having highest relative rate. So you can see all the compounds given here. The one having less number of carbon atoms is ethyl bromide. So ethyl bromide is having highest reactivity in this reaction because of it's having only the 2 carbon atoms, whereas other offer more steric hindrance to the nucleophile. That's the reason why it's having less reactivity. So the right answer for this question is option B. Okay, next one. Next question is from 2007 NEET paper. Let me read the question now. If there is no rotation of plane polarized light by the compound in a specific solvent, though to be chiral, it may mean that, okay, so it's given that the compound contains chiral carbon atom, but there is no rotation of plane polarized light. Okay, all of you know that if any compound which contains chiral carbon atom is said to be optically active, and if it is optically active, it rotates plane polarized light towards right side or left side. So it may be dextrorotatory or levorotatory, but in this question is given that there is no rotation of plane polarized light though it contains chiral carbon atom. So the meaning of this sentence they're asking, you can see the options given there. The compound is certainly a meso, there is no compound in the solvent, the compound may be a racemic mixture, the compound is certainly a chiral. Okay, to explain this I take one example as the tartaric acid. Let me take that. So tartaric acid, in optical isomers for tartaric acid you can take it as 3, but if you use the formula 2 to the power n, no, as you know, it contains 2 chiral carbon atoms, so 2 to the power 2 means 4 isomers, but tartaric acid is having only 3 optical isomers. That's because you can see these two last 2 structures here, and they're having a plane of symmetry, and if they're having plane of symmetry, these two to be taken as the same, right? This to be taken as 1, this collectively we take it as 1, then we got second and third, so totally 2 optical isomers possible for tartaric acid. Okay, now if you see these structures, at first I had taken 2R 3R and its mirror image will be 2S 3S. You know, these contains 2 chiral carbon atoms and they should be optically active and rotates plane of polarization or plane polarized light. Now if you see the other two actually, okay, these two also said to be enantiomers and they are said to be exactly the same. So if you see the structure now, as I said earlier, it's having a plane of symmetry. And we already know that if any compound having the symmetry elements or like particular plane of symmetry is said to be a meso compound. So the two structures, okay, what's given here last, they are said to be meso tartaric acid. So because of plane of symmetry, it is said to be optically inactive. Means it won't rotate plane polarized light. So what happens here? It's having chiral carbon atoms, two chiral carbon atoms, but because of presence of plane of symmetry, it will be optically inactive. So that's one reason can be taken for explaining this question. Okay, you can see here the options given here. It's very clear now. It has to be meso, right? The compound is certainly meso compound. That's the reason why it won't rotate any plane polarized to light, but having chiral carbon atoms. Okay, the right answer for this question is option A. Okay, next one now. Third question in appeared in 2006 NEET paper. Which of the following is not chiral? Right, this is a very simple question. If you write the structures of these, you'll get the answer directly. Not chiral, that's the question now. Means it should not have any chiral carbon atoms present. Okay, the first one 2-hydroxypropanoic acid, second 2-butanol, 2,3-dibromopentane, and fourth one is 3-bromopentane. Okay, I taken structures for these now. Is the first one 2-hydroxypropanoic acid. You can see it's having one chiral carbon atom present, so it's optically active. Second we got is butane 2-ol, and butane 2-ol is also having a chiral carbon atom. Third one 2,3-dibromopentane is also having chiral carbon atoms. Okay, so it's having two chiral carbon atoms present. And the last one, if we take the compound 3-bromopentane, you can see here, right, the two groups now, ethyl, and here also you got ethyl, right? So there is no chiral carbon atom present in 3-bromopentane. So they're asking which is not chiral. So the right answer is 3-bromopentane. Okay, next one now. Which of the following is least reactive in nucleophilic substitution reaction? Okay, least reactive. Reactivity, just you can see the options given here first. First one given as tertiary butyl chloride, second one vinyl chloride, third one is ethyl chloride, and the last one is it's allyl chloride or allylic chloride. Right, so again the same we already solved questions based on these, comparing reactivity of haloarenes and haloalkanes. We say haloarenes are less reactive, right, because of many reasons there. The main reason is because carbon chlorine or carbon halogen bond gets partial double bond character, right? And you can see in this, the first one, chlorine attached to, this is sp3 carbon. In second one, chlorine attached to sp2 carbon. Third one is attached to sp3, and fourth option, we can take chlorine attached to sp3 hybridized carbon. So straight away you can write the right answer in this case. Vinyl chloride. In vinyl chloride, chlorine attached to sp2 hybridized carbon atom, and if is attached to sp2 hybridized carbon atom, this carbon chlorine bond gets partial double bond character, and as a result it's very difficult to break that bond, right? So it should be having very less reactivity towards any nucleophilic substitution reaction. So the right answer for this question is option B. Okay, next one. Which of the following pairs of compounds are enantiomers? Right, we already know the meaning of enantiomers, the definition for that. The non-superimposable mirror images are said to be enantiomers. Right, so just we need to find which are or which pair is object and its mirror image. So you can easily select now. The right answer is option A, because if you place a mirror here, so this is exactly the mirror image of the first one. Okay, so the right answer for this question is option A. Next question now. the reactivity order of halides for the dehydrohallucination reaction. Dehydrohallucination, we can take generally as elimination or beta elimination reaction. Okay, in dehydrohallucination or elimination reaction, we break carbon halogen bond, right? So it means it depends on the strength of the bond, or can take the reactivity of any alkyl halide towards dehydrohallucination depends on the strength of carbon halogen bond. If it is weak bond, in that case that should be having more reactivity, right? And the weakest bond will get with iodine, then bromine, third one is chlorine, and the last one is fluorine. So it depends on the bond strength of carbon halogen. So you can directly select. The right answer is option B. Okay, next question now, which appeared in 2002. Okay, this is the sequence reaction given here. Starting with ethyl chloride upon reaction with sodium cyanide to form X, and X upon, this is catalytic hydrogenation, passing hydrogen gas in the presence of nickel catalyst to form Y, and Y upon treatment with acetic anhydride to form Z. We already know that acetic anhydride is used for acylation or acetylation reaction, right? Okay, so three-step reaction this is. Let me take the reaction now. First one, starting with ethyl chloride upon treatment with sodium cyanide. Sodium cyanide is ionic compound. It easily breaks to generate a nucleophile Cn-, which attacks on this carbon, and as a result chlorine is eliminated in the form of chloride to form propane nitrile. So we get the compound CH3 CH2 Cn. Once we get this nitrile, the next step is hydrogenation or catalytic hydrogenation, passing hydrogen gas in the presence of nickel. Catalytic hydrogenation of cyanides will form amines, right? So what happens now? This carbon of this cyanide group is converted into CH2, and N will get in the form of NH2. So we'll get formation of CH3 CH2 CH2 NH2. Okay, this is primary amine, or you can take it as propane 1-amine. The last step now, acetylation or acylation. So you can take acetic anhydride. So what happens now? Acetylation, one of the hydrogen of this NH2 is replaced by COCH3 group. You can see here CH3 CH2 CH2. It's actually initially NH2, right? So one of the hydrogen is replaced by COCH3. So we'll get formation of this compound CH3 CH2 CH2 NHCO CH3. You can see the structures given here, options now. So the right answer for this question will be option A, CH3 CH2 CH2 NHCO CH3. Okay, right, the next one now. Okay, first one, they are given a molecule here, 2-chlorobutane obtained by chlorination of N-butane will be. Okay, so they're asking again stereochemical aspect here regarding this molecule and how it forms by chlorination of N-butane. Right, we already know that chlorination reaction is a free radical mechanism which is having mainly 3 steps, right? Initiation, then propagation and termination. Okay, now if we take free radical, let me take some reactions here. Okay, this is general reaction I taken first. What happens when N-butane is chlorinated in presence of sunlight? Okay, so what happens there? We'll get formation of 2 compounds. One is 2-chlorobutane and other is 1-chlorobutane. Right, I said only 3 steps there: initiation, propagation and termination. So I have not taken all steps here. So the important steps I have taken. First, what happens? Chlorine molecule undergoes homolytic cleavage to form 2 chlorine free radicals, and these chlorine free radicals upon reaction with butane, it starts chain propagation step, right? And in chain propagation we'll get formation of, you can take this butyl free radical. So you can see here we'll get two different types, right? This is like secondary butyl, and get even primary butyl also. So okay, if you see the structure now, you can see the secondary carbon is having one electron, so you got a free radical. And in the case of free radicals, you know, the carbon is sp2 hybridized, and if it is sp2, the geometry can be taken as planar trigonal geometry. And this chlorine, if it is having planar trigonal, chlorine is having the chance of attacking to this carbon from both the sides, right? So it can attack from the front side as well as from back side. So if it attacks from both the sides, so we'll get formation of equal, right? So equimolar mixture of dextro and Leo rotator here. Okay, so the equimolar mixture of dextro and Leo rotator substance is said to be a racemic mixture. So what happens now in this reaction, as it involves free radical, it results in the formation of a racemic mixture. The right answer is option B. Okay, right, that's today's last question. And the next part, okay, the part 4 will be having around like 8 to 10 questions again. So if you like the video, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.